witches, monks, nuns, omens, unholy bargains, and a demonic horse ride all the way to hell. No, not my upcoming birthday plans. I couldn't find a monk. Tonight's terrifying tale brings you all this and more. Greetings from the Witch House. I am your host with the ghosts, Dr. Gallo. Please, take a moment to subscribe and give this a thumbs up. It might just save your soul. There are those of us who know not to meddle with forces we don't understand, and others still who think a deal with the devil will make for an easy ride. And as the woman in tonight's story came to discover, the ride is seldom so easy after all. Back in 1100 AD, the town of Berkeley, England, was home to a woman locally renowned as a witch, who used to receive omens by observing birds, a divination method known as augury. She was well liked and lived a life of some decadence, wealthy with regular feasts. When her pet raven suddenly died, she knew that this was a terrible portent, and that she too was at the end of her life. As if to seal her fate, a messenger suddenly arrived to deliver the news. Her eldest son had died too. She immediately summoned her remaining two children, a monk and a nun, and confessed everything. She had struck a bargain with the devil, wealth and prosperity for life, in exchange for her soul. When she died shortly after, her children carried out her final instructions in an attempt to save her soul. Her body was bound in the skin of a stag and placed in a stone coffin, bound with 3 iron chains. If psalms were sung over her body for 40 days and 40 nights, her body would be buried under the grace of God in the church cemetery. On the first 2 nights, swarms of demons broke into the church and managed to snap the first 2 chains. The power of the final chain was too great for them. On the 3rd night, the demons gave up. Instead, the great wooden doors splintered open and the church shuddered. In the doorway stood a terrible figure, the devil himself. The witch's somehow still living corpse told the devil to leave, that she was bound and could not go with him, but he sneered and snapped the final chain effortlessly and shattered the stone coffin before picking the witch up and carrying her outside over his shoulder. In the churchyard stood a great midnight black steed with red flaming eyes. All over its hide were gnarled spikes and hooks. The devil slammed the body of the woman onto the horse, sticking her fast to the protrusions, which pierced her through. She shrieked horribly, and her cries and pleas for help continued to echo for miles around, as the devil rode the horse and carried the witch away into the night. She was never seen again. Let this be a lesson to you, curious types, to think twice before you meddle with things you should leave alone. Otherwise, you might find yourself saddled with a debt that you can't afford.